What have you brought us this Sunday?
Well, we have a piece...
For radio listeners and others.
For radio listeners can like this one as well. There's a lot of music in it. It's about a kind of a modern form of primitive tribalism that we've seen afoot in the country. These are rare birds.
Oh, yeah, we got to get a look. Look at you people.
There have been reported sightings of large flocks of these uncaged rare birds all summer. But what are they? They're called parrotheads, devotees of Jimmy Buffett, a singer who hasn't had a hit single since 1977, but who commands a following in the millions. Normally sane people who go a little crazy once a year when Jimmy comes to town.
Did anybody look at themselves in the mirror before they left home today, huh?
A separate session of the Court of Common Pleas and for the state.
Tom Robinson is a typical parrothead, holds down a serious job, the whole bit.
Well, hopefully nobody will recognize you when you're dressed up like that, too. That's why you have to wear the sunglasses and the hat. Different outfit than what I have on now. Nobody recognizes you when you go to the concert, and that's what you bet on.
American Airlines Flyaway Vacations.
Likewise, Becky Taylor. She sells flyaway vacations. So does Jimmy Buffett, only he flies to you.
All right. Nipping on sponge cake. Watching the sun bathe.
Jimmy Buffett flies in from Key West, bringing along his laid-back island music and mindset, a legal high, to northern clime.
Strumming my six string on my front porch swing.
Once we know that he's coming, everybody starts planning your wardrobe, what you're going to do as far as a parking lot party. Are you going to take a boat down? Are you going to get the days off work? I mean, it's a big preparation.
There's my big shot.
For 4 nights, this rather conservative Midwestern city becomes Cincinnati by the sea, taken with his music. An amalgam of Western rock and calypso, tossed in a blender, served with an umbrella, an intoxicating blend, I must say.
I don't know the reason. Stay here all season.
I think of it as a cheap vacation. It's like going to the Keys without having to buy a plane ticket.
Fears the ride.
He's offering them freedom.
Cliff Radel, pop music critic for the Cincinnati Enquirer.
And it's a lifestyle that people can enjoy vicariously. This beach bum lifestyle, this carefree existence, this Margaritaville. It's founded on great food, too, cheeseburgers.
In this summer of recession with concert business in the doldrums, Jimmy Buffett's concerts are sold out, coast to coast, from May to September. He's one of those musical anomalies with an enormous loyal following, despite rarely being heard on Top 40 radio, never seen on MTV. Do you get a kind of a little charge out of coming into a town and having the CPAs and the lawyers and everybody take their three-piece suits off? Are you a troublemaker at heart?
Absolutely. I am at heart. I think that the biggest problem with 20th century life is we've all taken ourselves much too seriously. When we come to town and all of a sudden we're an excuse to go crazy, I think that's an essential part of life in the 20th century, and I'm glad it's my job.
His fans know all the words.
Mother, Mother Ocean, I have heard you call. Wanted to sail upon your waters since I was 3 feet tall.
His words are of regrets and hope, of modern-day smugglers and pirates.
You've seen it all.
Indeed, his words are now making him a best-selling author. He has written 2 children's books with his daughter, Savannah Jane. His Tales of Margaritaville hit the New York Times bestseller list 3 years ago and stayed there for 7 months.
Thanks a bunch.
A bit of an irony, considering no song he ever recorded has done half as well on the charts. This month, his first novel, Where is Joe Merchant, was published.
What number? 285. 285.
290.
At his first book signing 2 weeks ago in Denver, fans stood in line for hours for autographs.
There you go.
Thank you.
All right.
Well, tell us about book writing. First, why would any guy, any sane man, well, perhaps that's the wrong way to phrase the
Wrong
question.
way to phrase it.
Sorry. Okay, let's rephrase that question. Why, with all the success that you've had and everything, why would you want to sit down and try and write a book of fiction, particularly?
It was the pure challenge of seeing it if I could do it. And when I got into it, I was scared to death. And once you got in, I wanted to do it real fast, you know. When I wrote a book,
But it took him 3 years, writing on airplanes, in hotel rooms, and in backstage trailers like this one.
I've toured for 25 years. I still love it. And the thing that I love about it is the instant feedback. I found myself, when I was writing this book, I'd get to a point where I'd close it all up and run down in Key West and play in Margaritaville just so I could hear people applaud for me.
Okay, we're rolling. The novel is of flying and sailing and carousing in the Caribbean, things Jimmy Buffett knows something about.
The reason I started flying seaplanes was because, like the character in the book, I was sort of mesmerized by them in my days in South Florida. I would just go get on the chalk flights and go back and forth to Bimini just to ride on the planes because I was fascinated by them.
The main characters are the pilot and the plane itself.
I had to get them on the first page. It's like the only thing I had to relate writing to was being on stage. I got to get them on the first song.
Jimmy Buffett is fast becoming a conglomerate. He has a new album out this summer on his own label, while his bar and restaurant in Key West, called Margaritaville, hums along, tourists stopping in to buy Jimmy Buffett souvenirs.